Thank you. I can't have all this whiskey for the show. Thank you. No, would you stop? I can't do it. We're going on? When he's... All right. Hello, my lovelies. Hello. Welcome to the show. All right. Chicken face. It's Man Cow, and here we go. And I think my mic is fixed from last week, but barely. And here, look who it is. Look who it is. My favorite. Doing a lot of praying lately, and I hope you are too. And I think we are in a Jericho, Iwo Jima, Alamo, Karachi. Was it Karachi Maru? Was it Kobayashi Maru situation? I really think we're looking at the end of America and the end of the world. And I'm looking forward to our guest. I'm going to fight I want to, as a joke, I would call him a communist. I don't know if he was comfortable with that. Maybe socialist, maybe whatever. He's a well-known name here in Chicago. If you listen to talk radio, you've heard him. He's a popular guest, and there's a reason for it. He's one of the crazies you can talk to, and he's a very dear friend of mine, but we do not agree politically, and I'm constantly shocked by anyone that could be reasonable and look at what's going on and go, everything's great. Everything's great. So I know they're starting to close down towns this very night. The number 33 has come up again. The number 33 comes up a lot, folks, not just Club 33 at Walt Disney World, but the number 33 is significant, as many of you know. And 33 towns have been shut down so far. And whatever they do, I'm not going to comply. That's it. So, yeah. And you know, I'm seeing a lot of evil stuff. I saw it at the DNC. You know, they mock Buddha and Momo and Zeus and Xenu, but boy, they love going after this guy. And because it's a powerful force on the planet. And of course, Christians want Israel to survive. And I really think under Kamala, Israel's gone. Taiwan is gone. And I can't wait for our guest to come on and just tell me how crazy I am, you know? So Trump fooled around. Ladies have a problem with that. But do you have a problem with the woman that fools around with your husband? Kamala. I was there. I mean, I didn't see her get an own Willie Brown, but it was a well-known thing in San Francisco. I had the number one show in San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. And, you know, we used to call her a suck-hag. Probably shouldn't say that, but yeah. So we'll start the show. Ralph, not yet. Let me do my thing here. I got a nice cigar. Maybe I'll do that instead of the cigarette. This is the Lion's Den. I hope you knew that before you tuned in. This is where the angels and the devils fight, and they're choosing up sides tonight. Me, part man, part monkey, part mystery. And the angels and the devils are playing tug of war with my personality. Pull the string! And cow. What time is it? What time is it? 7:03. 7:03. Okay, we're live. It's Monday night. This is not pre-recorded. You can tell by the great quality of it. That Franchi guy makes me nervous, or jealous, I should say, with all of his high production. I got to learn how to do all that. And I want to take calls. We take messages and stuff. Ultra 5, U5 from, remember Ultraman and Johnny Sacco? This is from Johnny Sacco and his flying robot. I wrote away to her. She's an old lady. I had a crush on her as a kid. And she wrote back. Hello from California's last conservative holdout, the Central Valley, Fresno. Dude, you got to get back on the radio. I was syndicated, and I'm Fred Fresno. You know, around the world, when you want to make fun of radio, Fresno is famous for having the worst radio in America. Chicago, the best. Better than New York, better than California, where I ruled the roost. Chicago, as I like to say, from the top of the cock, the John Hancock building. But whenever I'm telling you, starting at the very beginning in the early 80s when I started, hey, man, Fred Fresno here, because that's where it came from. Fresno's where the guys talk like blah, 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 blah. So, Ralph, would you jump on here real quick? This is super producer Ralph. And, this is a Mickey Mouse operation, and there's one of them. Okay. We run like a Mickey Mouse operation, not like Disney.
I'm the head mouseketeer on the backside trying to make you look good, man.
So well, it's been really great so far. I want to say to people, I was doing AM radio a few years ago. I really blew it on the podcasting. I really blew it again out there on the internet. Man, I was doing radio. I didn't care about any of this stuff. I really still don't care about it. This is fine. This is Monday night. I'm here at my house. How am I doing? I mean, look around. I'm doing good. My life is good. God is in charge, and anything my enemies send against me, it fails miserably, and God turns it to good. So anyway, Ralph, I want people to understand. They ask all these things of me on the internet. Oh, you didn't know this. You didn't know that. I don't know how to do any of it. People are asking me today, how do I find the podcast? I have no idea. I say, go where you get podcasts. So I'm really that stupid, Ralph. Tell them.
The man doesn't even know how to operate an email account. I don't know how.
I don't have an email.
No.
It was interesting because I was in a court case, and you don't know how to do an email. You don't do your own posts. You don't. Well, I didn't. I have started to do it.
We've got you tweeting.
I'm making a big appearance on X. Can you show? Are you going through my phone?
No, I'm updating your phone.
What?
Updating your phone.
You're updating my phone. Okay, you better not be looking at those pictures of my wife. Anyway,
I'm the one that sent them to him.
Yeah. Okay. Seriously, if the woman you love is sleeping with someone else, it's time to stay home with your wife. Anyway, I don't do any of that stuff. Can you show? I would like people to like and follow, and I hated when people said that to me, but I'll tell you why, because I'm really getting killed. I've got 50,000 followers on Instagram, and they've put up a bunch of fake deals. This is from Instagram, and can you show what my Instagram looks like, Ralph?
Absolutely.
Take your time. You click off here, Ralph.
I got it right here.
Okay. So can you move it, or is that it? Okay, there it is. So find that. They are allowing a lot of fakes. And look, I'm not panhandling, I'm not begging, but if you join and like, it would be nice. And you got to change these algorithms. They're really messing with me. Ralph, jump back on here. Ralph, do you know what a guy with a really giant cock always says?
Hey, man, Cal.
Good. Okay. Jump off. You know what you call an Italian with a short arm? A guy with a speech impediment. Okay. My wife could not talk without her hands. Do we have another picture? We have something else to put up? Oh, that's Ron Onesti, the little guy right there. And then in the middle is a very skinny Scott Stapp. And Creed is back, and it has shocked everybody the amount of power that Creed has. And of course, I love the song Higher. You heard Creed. I was one of the first people to play him. And this kid came to me, Scott Stapp, with a notebook, a spiraling notebook with all these songs that over the next 5 years became big, big hits. And of course, it was Chicago. Fred Fresno, everybody. It was in Chicago where it all fell apart for him. He had a huge sold out show and laid down on the stage. And that was it. And now they're back together. I will tell you, I've met Mark Tremonti many times, and he was not real friendly to me. I'll be honest with you. I'll also be honest with you. Kind of excited to meet Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell, the sheet guy, the pillowcase guy. What's that called?
My Pillow.
My Pillow guy. And I don't know. He's okay. Just dead fish handshake. So yeah. Do you know etiquette experts say you are never to lower yourself to the food? You are to bring the fork to you. You are to bring the fork to you. Except when you're eating what? Except when you're eating what? Bring the fork to you except when you're eating what? Soup. Then you may. Okay. Very important stuff, all right? And also, Sid Vicious died today. Oh, I loved him. And he was a right-winger, man. He was a Trump guy. Interviewed him many times. Wow, he was cool. And he, that's punk right now. That's punk. Not being a communist. Can you hear me? That thing has happened again. That's okay. We'll get through it. Remember, your belly button used to be your mouth. Let's go to Jack Franks. Let's bring him on. Jack, how's it going so far?
You're very entertaining.
Okay, so you don't like communists, right?
Of course not.
Are those hoop earrings or are those earbuds?
Earbuds. I'm getting to the 21st century now.
Hey, my roast, I loved your dad. Your dad was a good friend of mine. He was a banker in Chicago, Illinois area, a farmer, and we vacationed together and went fishing together. Did I roast him good or what?
And that was the best roast ever.
Holy shit, was that fun.
That was incredible.
Do you have a favorite line?
Yeah, but
the Madigan line was pretty good.
The Madigan line was really good, but the one where you were talking about my...
Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I'm not sure I can say this. I guess I can.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay. I better not say it.
Go ahead.
Where you said that the state treasurer was in the bathroom giving out free fellatio, shall we say? And my dad was very conflicted because he wasn't gay, but it was free, so he wasn't sure what to do.
Very good.
That was a good roast.
Have you noticed that women's 5 minutes are different from our 5 minutes? As in, I'll be ready in 5 minutes.
Right.
You're fairly newly single, and you got a hot girlfriend now.
Well, we've been together. Today it's 1 year. It's our 1 year anniversary today.
And how is that going?
I'm spending it with you. So how good could it be? No, it's going great.
I married my first wife is my first trophy wife. Now let me ask you something, Jack. You are a world traveler. We're gonna beat each other up here in a second, but yes. I'm buttering them up a little bit. Jack, you're a world traveler, and I do have people calling me today.
Yeah.
Famous people. Like, Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? Where do we go? Because I don't want to be here during Kamala, and a lot of people don't. And the Democrats always say, I'm leaving. And nobody ever leaves.
Right.
I'm going to step away. I can't do anything because of what's going on in my life until the middle of next year. So if I'm talking to you in June of next year, oh, he lied. But I'm going to bail. I don't want to be here. I don't want to watch the end of America. And that's really where I think it's going. Texas took 1 million dead and illegal voters off their voting rolls. I do think that's a game changer. I think it's huge. And if we bring back paper ballots, it would be cheaper. It would restore the faith of the American public. Jack, what do you think of that idea? Paper ballots back.
No, I think you have to make it easier for people to vote, not harder. We have a lot of old people who can't make it to the polls. I think having an extended time to vote, mail-in ballots have always been good, never been a problem. And this whole rhetoric about there being election fraud is just that. It's rhetoric. It's just a big lie. Fox News had to pay a $750 million fine for lying about it. Rudy Giuliani lost his law license about lying about it. Let me tell you, there are some problems. I can tell you here in McHenry County, which is the most rock-ribbed Republican county in the state of Illinois, in the Collar County. He's the only one that voted for Trump both times and will again this time.
And voted for you.
And voted for me.
Yeah.
But they had big problems with the election a few years ago, and it wasn't based on any fraud. Frankly, it was just incompetence. And these were Republican folks who were running the elections. They just didn't put in about 15,000 votes. They forgot to count the early votes. And our guy who does the elections has also changed ballot questions. I mean, not on purpose, just because they weren't paying attention. So you're going to see some issues, but there's not widespread fraud.
All right, you're a little long-winded.
I know.
Okay, so let's.
I'll shut up.
No, but we got more to talk about and better stuff. Okay, you're getting on your game now. So if you, Jack Franks, have to leave America, being that you travel the world, and I do too, where would you go? You have to leave.
I'm not going to leave because I think America is great.
I know. Come on, but it's a hypothetical. If you have to leave, where would you go? This is a travel question, not a political question. Yeah,
Portugal. I'd go to Portugal. Great food. You're in Europe. Beautiful architecture. Great people. Very safe.
Yeah,
it's really wonderful. Great healthcare.
My wife is Italian citizen. My kids are Italian citizens as well as American citizens. So I have a free ride there, and I'm going to Portugal soon. And I want to go to Fatima, but maybe not. Lyrical Lizard. Yeah. What am I sipping? I am very embarrassed. I've been drinking Pappy, which is, people have offered me $1,000 for these bottles of Pappy or more. You ever have Pappy, Jack?
Yep.
So I am drinking sorority girl stuff. This is really embarrassing, Lyrical. I wish you hadn't asked. By the way, nobody drinks this shit anymore, but I fell in love with it and I still like it. So it's my regular beverage. I drink that. I drink the Fireball, just garbage. But I also do the Pappies and the good stuff. And when I go to Scotland, which is every year, I get good stuff. But that's not the good stuff. So, if you cross a Pontiac Aztek, you remember that? The Aztek? If you cross that with an iPad, what do you get? You get the new Tesla truck. What do you think, Jack? Are they ugly or wonderful? I love the adventuresomeness of it, but I wouldn't want one.
I wouldn't want one either, but I think they look really cool. But it's not it's for younger guys. It's not my type of vehicle.
You know, Jack. Let's not use your mom. Can we use your grandmother for a joke?
Sure.
Or your old girlfriend. I don't know.
Whatever.
I'll use your grandmother. Before the train, you know what your grandmother did?
No, tell me.
She ran wagons.
Huh.
Good. I
Good.
used to run wagons on her before the. Oh, never mind. I was trapped in a woman before I was born. Okay, so let's begin.
Yes.
Who is Jack Franks? I know you were Hillary's campaign manager. You were Pritzker's campaign manager. So you know all these people.
I was in government for a while.
Yeah,
I was.
And you're a low tax guy.
Yeah.
You're a pro gun guy.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
You didn't just say that to get elected?
No, I actually own guns and gone shooting. I've had a FOID card since I was 13. Grew up on a farm. It's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It's more cultural. There's a lot of Democrats that are gun owners. In Southern Illinois, I mean, everybody has a gun. Everybody.
Do you think it's sexist to take away the guns? Because you see what's going on in the streets of Chicago. You see what's going on in every city with these thugs, these illegals that are here, these invaders. Don't you think it's awful for women not to be able to protect themselves?
People can. You can get concealed carry. I was never for concealed carry until I changed when I was seeing what was going on in Chicago. And they had the strictest gun laws in the entire country. And we had some of the worst crime. And so that's when I switched and said it's time to do concealed carry. I had no problem with that because what we're doing isn't working.
You're buddies with Pritzker. Do you ever mention his weight to him? I've got a friend here right now. I had a heart with him. He gained a bunch of weight during COVID, and I'm worried about him. Would you ever talk to Pritzker and say, I'm worried about you?
I would talk to any friend who has a problem like that and tell them let's go to Mayo or something and get checked out and make sure you're okay and try to be healthier.
So Mayo, which I'm a big believer in.
Yep.
And I just want to say it. If you have somebody that's sick, if you have somebody that has cancer, I am not a big believer in Northwestern. I went through, I thought some third world stuff there, and it's great. Okay. I'm just telling you, I want to live, and I'm a company, and my family depends on me, and I can't die, not for a while, and I'm not going to dick around. I'm going to go to Mayo if I want to live, and if you have someone you love that you want them to live, you go to Mayo, right. And once you experience it, then you realize, oh man, this is the real deal,
right?
And there's none of that bullshit. People are hired for their quality, and they're all quality. They're being well paid, and everything runs like clockwork. Anyway, I'm going on and on. Let me tell you that I do antacids every day. I was doing 2, and now I'm doing 4. I don't know what it's called, Ozempic or something. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or is that the weight loss stuff? Is that the weight loss stuff? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Ozepamol or whatever it is. And, I'm having to. Yeah, say that again.
Omeprazole.
So now I'm hearing that, and I'm starting to forget stuff, and I'm just not as, it's not bad, but I'm not able to. Michael Chiklis was the star of The Shield. I couldn't pull it, and that's never like me. And who was the guy in Aliens? Oh, what was his name? Bill Paxton. I was like a library on this stuff, Jack.
Right.
So anyway, I'm reading that they're now saying that this stuff causes memory loss, and there it is, and it gets rid of the, it hurts the lining and the flap into so the acid, and I'm tasting acid in my mouth all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm trying to go a natural route. And the guy at Mayo, maybe things have changed, but he said, this is bad. My father died of esophageal cancer. This is why I care. But the guy at Mayo said, yeah, take this every day. It's fine. And now I'm thinking, maybe not, but maybe things have changed. I haven't been there in a few years. Yeah, what do you care? What do you care? I'm just telling you. Well, I like to work on myself. I'm telling you something, Jack. I'm like the Dan Ryan. I work on myself, and I work on myself, and I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks. I don't care how I make anybody miserable. And I say this to you, Jack. Be like the Dan Ryan. Keep working on yourself, even though you piss everybody off.
I'm good at it. Let's go to Mayo when you're ready. You and I.
No, he's kidding, but he's not kidding. That's
kidding.
something we'll really do.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Pritzker, is he doing a good job?
Yeah, he actually is. I think he's doing a pretty good job. You're not going to like it, but he's done very well with the budget. He's established a rainy day fund. He's paid down the debt. He's been paying down on our pensions, which I think is really important. We've had 9 credit upgrades under his administration, and he's been able to create some jobs. And he's been spending our incentives on creating jobs rather than, building stadiums.
This is someone saying good things about Pritzker. I need to hear this stuff. I want to hear it. Okay, tell me, why are so many people leaving?
That's interesting as well.
But don't read. Don't read.
No, I'm going to tell you what it is. Actually, those numbers are pretty misleading because the census folks had to redo their numbers because Illinois actually grew instead of lost. I'm not kidding. It's a fact. They were actually sued and they saw they did it wrong. And this is very important because it's based on how much you get fiscally. Now, why are people leaving Illinois? The reason they're leaving Illinois is because of our property taxes, number one. We're some of the highest in the country.
$45,000, Jack.
Okay, but we're still
That's what I pay a year.
Okay, well then, congratulations. You have a very nice home, but it's still, you're paying too much. You're paying too much. We also were way too violent as well in this state. People don't feel as safe as they should. And there's also the corruption tax that we pay. The Chicago Tribune's doing a very good article right now. They started Sunday about all these politicos who have gone to prison for corruption. I think people get tired of it. But Illinois actually does have more people coming in than leaving. But we lag the rest of the country. There's no question that we're not keeping up with our neighbor states. And I think those are the reasons why people are leaving. But the property taxes are really the biggest issue. When I was chairman of the county here in McHenry County, I actually cut taxes by 12%.
I know.
And everybody who wanted, I gave everyone a rebate who was a property owner because we had overtaxed them too long at the county. I gave back over $5.5 million.
Boy, don't you wish Illinois would do that? Don't you wish Cook County people would get a break?
It's not going to happen.
Did I break out there? Did you hear me?
I heard you. You. But Cook County people are never going to get that break because Cook County is deficit spending.
Yeah.
And their pension problems are too big.
If you could pick anybody, who would you pick for president?
Well, I tell you what, I don't like either one of the choices too much, and I think both parties suck. I'd like to have someone who can actually bridge the divide instead of anger more people. So I'm not sure who that person is or whether they exist, at this point. But I'm concerned about how polarized our country has become. I've never seen it so bad. After 9/11, we were pretty tight, and things were okay, and people, reasonable people could disagree, and you weren't labeled a criminal. But now, when you disagree with someone, they want to lock you up. Both sides. I mean, both parties suck. So I'm not sure how we do better, honestly. But these are the choices we have, and that's.
Do you see a civil war?
God, I hope not.
I do too, man. And I get it. And I get that every day.
Me too.
Jack,
yeah.
I get that every day.
So do I. I think one of the problems is the rhetoric used, and I know you're not going to like this, but by President Trump lying about the election, what he's basically saying is our elections don't matter because they can't be trusted. When people don't believe in democracy, then you're going to have a civil war.
Well, Jack, that's where I am. I did work the booths in Chicago. I saw what bullshit it was. I don't believe Chicago elections are real. I can't speak to the nation. I do believe that there was interference in the last election. I believe there was mistakes, drop box issues, everything else. And I want to say this, and this makes people mad, Jack. And I'm not sucking up because you're on the show. Although, Jack and I, look, you guys, you have to break out and not just talk to your QAnon buddies.
Right.
And I'm not lecturing anybody or down talking anybody or not saying anybody's deplorable. I'm one of you. But I do believe that Biden won. And I'm friendly with Trump. I've got things from Trump signed to me, nice notes framed in my house. I'm all in. And someone was saying on the internet the other day that I was not a Trump guy. That's an absolute lie. Jack will tell you. I've always been a Trump guy. I'm friendly with him. Yes, early. Probably the first guy on radio, certainly in Chicago.
Yep.
Where am I going with this? I do believe Biden won the last election. Sorry. Do I think there was cheating? Yes. Do I think there was anomalies? Yes. Do I think we should return to a paper ballot? Yes. Only for the sake of the country. It's weird, Jack, the things that get to me. Bozo is a franchise. No, it wasn't, you liar. There was only one Bozo at WGN. No, there was Bozos all over the world.
Right.
A guy named Larry Harmon owned it. And then another guy, I'm talking about great Westerns. And someone said the Magnificent Seven. And I said, Yul Brynner, man. I met him as a kid, and he died like a few weeks later. I met him in Kansas City at Starlight Theater, and I met Yul Brynner. Oh, Mancow's pathetic. Now he's dropping names like Yul Brynner. What a piece of shit loser. Like, really? I don't understand the vitriol. I don't understand the stupidity. I don't understand the hatred. Someone just said you're gaslighting, Jack.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, we do get, folks, I'm going to tell you, we get in vicious fights. I don't
Yeah.
agree with him. I want people to know.
Right.
I'm not trying to save my own ass here. I'm not trying to throw red meat to the lions. But, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how nobody liked Kamala and all of a sudden, Jack, you love Kamala. You don't think how can you think that's great? How can you think that hyena is going to be good for Israel? How can you think that hyena is going to be, well, hold on. Brian's now saying, now they're attacking me. Well, let me say this, Brian. Yes and no. Yeah, I was big on Bush early on. I was not after the wars. Is he a war criminal? Come on. They have to make ugly decisions.
George Bush, he's a good man, and his father is a real American hero.
Well, Jack, hold on. I don't want to talk about Bush. It's boring. But let me make my point, and I want to move on. The thing with Bush is Obama did the same stuff, and I hated it, and I hated it under Bush. No taxes, this and that, big government. I don't care if it's Obama's big government or it's George W. Bush. That's it, man. It's very simple. You want to do a radio show? Jack, you want to do a radio show? Of course, you're different than me. Real simple. You know how Les, leave me alone. I want them out of my life. That's what I want. Leave me alone. And I said that under Bush, and anybody honest would have to say that. Did I like George W. Bush over what the alternative was? Yes. At the time, yes. And as far as Trump goes, I think like King David is an imperfect man. I mean, King David, who was a man after God's own heart, according to the Bible, sent his best buddy out to get killed so he could have sex with his wife. Yeah, the same David that slayed Goliath. We are imperfect people. The Bible, Old Testament, Jack, which you like, New Testament, which I like, and I always say the Old Testament is for the Jewish people. The New Testament is for me. And then there's the Mormon version. And I think of it like I think of the original Star Wars, A New Hope, and then Empire Strikes Back, and then Jedi. Empire Strikes Back is the best. I'm a New Testament guy, but the Bible is filled with imperfect people that God used. And I got news for you. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. And God can use us. God can even use Jack Franks. So Trump is imperfect, but I think he's the perfect guy for now. I think just like Churchill. I do think we immediately end wars in Ukraine. I think that RFK Jr. Ends all these shots. Hey, man, my daughter went to get a tetanus shot, and it was 10 shots. They told me I needed some shot at my age, and it was 10 shots. And I don't like this clustering of shots. I think you should be able to pick a shot you want, not get everything at once. I think it's unhealthy for us. I don't think our body can handle it. Certainly when these babies are born and they're given 30 cluster shots at once. And I wouldn't get any more shots. I'm done with that. That's just me. But Kamala's presidential library, Jack, it's going to have 2 books, and one she didn't finish coloring. You're okay with that? You really think that mental midget is suitable to be president?
Listen, I'm not sure what presidential timber is anymore, because the nominee for the Republicans is a guy. Well, he's got some issues. I mean, did you ever think that a nominee for a major party would be one who had been convicted of 34 felonies, also been convicted of sexually assaulting a woman, then having to pay millions of dollars for defamation when he lied about it, and been 5 children by 3 different women, and then had to pay off a porn star $130,000 for hush money for having sex with the porn star while his wife was pregnant? I never thought that we would have someone like that who could be leading and be the next president.
Jack, that is so unbelievable coming from you. Because you were I don't want to expose anything, because I don't want to bring pain on my friend. But you had the courts used against you in a very unfair way.
Right.
And I don't believe this stuff with Trump. Do I think he nailed Stormy Daniels? Yes. Yeah, I do. I do. I've been around him. Sorry.
I don't care if he did, with Stormy Daniels. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
But it used to be disqualifying for a guy who was caught on tape saying you can grab him by the genitals.
Oh, your buddy Bill Clinton, brother?
I'm not saying. Listen, he got impeached for it.
And the stuff that I heard, I mean, I did like Jon Stewart. Never made me laugh, but I did appreciate Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart, Bill Maher came out and said, "Look, Clinton's a sexual predator."
Right.
And I know, yeah.
I mean, that's what they said. But I'm just saying to say that she is somehow not qualified is just not.
Kamala is qualified to be come on, Jack.
What is
You don't
Paul-
believe that?
Do you really think it's a meritocracy? Because if it was a meritocracy, Hillary Clinton would have won in 2016,
Holy
not a
shit.
guy
Oh,
who would
shit, you're
never
crazy.
held office.
Play a video, Ralph. I got to calm down here. Play a video. Man, I'm a little hoarse. Okay, that was. Do you know where that's at, Jack? Does Donnelly still exist, the Wild West town?
No, but he's doing auctions there now.
He's doing auctions. Who cares? Okay. What else, Ralph? Keep going. Let's go through this. Thanks,
Stay there,
everybody,
horse.
for tuning in.
I've been having dreams that I'm a wigwam and a teepee, and the psychiatrist said, well, I know what your problem is. You're too tense.
Okay, I want to tell you why I told that joke. Okay, that's in honor of my friend Jerry Springer, who, like Jack, was another limousine liberal. We would drive through Cabrini Green in his limo, and we would always go out to party after the show. I did over 50 episodes of the Jerry Springer Show. It was the hottest show on earth. And he would go, somebody should help these people. Somebody should help these people. Limousine liberal. But that was the joke. Every single show for 20, 30 years, starting in Cincinnati, that Jerry Springer would tell, the 2 tenths joke.
Yeah.
And Jack, did you hear about the guy that came home and his wife hit him in the head with a frying pan?
No.
And he said, wait, what was that for? And she said, I found a note in your pocket, and on it was written, Fast Debbie. Fast Debbie. He goes, whoa, come on now. I was out at Arlington. This is an old joke. I was out at Arlington racetrack. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was out at Arlington racetrack. It's breaking up again. Here we go again, guys. Anyway, I was out at Arlington racetrack, and that's the horse. A week later, he comes home. She hits him with a bigger frying pan. Well, she's pregnant. Could you hear it? Because you're in the room. Okay, what else we got? What else is starting to mess up? There it is. Jack, if this ends, we'll just end it. This happens every week. Maybe it's the deep state, Jack. Keep praying, folks. Yeah, okay, next. What else we got? That was a biking ad. I love that from the 1970s. Bicycle. Okay, all right, next. Jack Franks looks like a painting in a painting.
Thank you.
Democratic city, filthy. Vote now. Vote more often. Sure.
That's a sign on the campus of Madison. Vote more often. How great. All right. Anything else, Ralph?
We're at the Kamala rally, and the crowds are huge. Everybody cheering Kamala. It's so great.
My impression of the media. Jack, do you like Trump? Not as president, but do you like him?
No.
Because I know you'd like him.
I'm sure he'd be fun and entertaining. I just wouldn't trust him at all. So I don't like him.
At least with Kamala, we could get a blowjob,
You can say that about a lot of people.
Hillary, did you ever get?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did she hit on your wife? Okay.
Hillary.
Next. Anything else, Ralph? Any other pictures? Any other videos? Yeah. This is Okay, you can get off that. He goes on and on. It's quite a video. Jack, and you can blame Reagan. I don't care who you blame. What happened to insane asylums? What happened to vagrants issues? What are we doing, man? I feel very unsafe with my wife and kids in any Democratic city, and really most cities now. What do we do? What do we do with these shitheads? I mean, come on.
Well, there's mental health issues that we need to have funded. And you can't just always continue to attack the government for the conservatives and say, don't give them any money, and then complain about people with problems that aren't
No,
being
we need
treated.
asylums. We need asylums.
No, I don't think we need to warehouse people. I think folks can be productive members of society.
Well, they're not. They're
Well, they
shitheads
can
around
be.
the street. They're done. It's over. And I don't want them around my kids.
Well, some people want to be homeless, but that's a very small portion. Most of them are because of mental health issues, and we need to treat that.
The Bible says the poor will always be with us.
Yes.
Jack, I saw, and I don't want to get fake angry at you, but I'm telling you, this is your buddy talking to you. I saw with my own eyes, 1,400 people dropped off in my neighborhood. And it pisses me off. And it is the Democrats so that they will be future voters.
No,
You don't have a problem with that.
You can thank your Republican governors down in Texas who are sending them up here. That's not a democratic thing. That's people who are not doing their job. Now, I'm going to start with Biden didn't do his job on the border. But then once they got to Texas,
Kamala.
no, it was Biden. Because he really messed it up. I actually did a show with the former head of the Border Patrol that Biden fired, and I was the Democrat and he was the Republican. I was supposed to go
All
after
right.
him, and Biden screwed that
Okay,
up.
so everybody's to blame for our border. It's horrendous. These people are going to vote. We're never going to come back. It's a third world. If Kamala gets in, I'm saying it's the end of the world, and I mean that. Israel goes, Taiwan goes. That's my prediction. I also think that Biden is dead. I think Biden is already dead. I'm not kidding you. And I think that via John, who was the guy that I loved? I campaigned for him as a kid, Jerry, in Missouri, and I think he would have been president. I think he was killed. Jerry Layton.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. You knew him. The guy in Missouri that died in a plane crash.
I'm spacing off. So
Yeah, me too.
You're telling me that you think our president's weekend at Bernie's?
I think Biden is already dead. I think they're going to have a state funeral for him, Kamala behind the coffin, and they're going to use that to sweep her into office.
Oh, come on.
Dude, have you seen the guy that's walking around now? 2-3 inches taller, a lot taller, 7 inches taller, we're saying, and he's spry all of a sudden. Where has Biden been right now? You see what's happening with Israel. Where's Biden been?
The Israel thing, it's bigger than, it's very scary because what's going on with Hezbollah and Iran. And yesterday it really heated up.
Yeah.
I know they're working hard to try to get a ceasefire. I'm not sure it's possible unless the hostages are released.
Yeah.
And Trump was right when he said keep going and get it done, because I don't see a truce at this time. And
Yeah.
I'd agree with Trump on some of his positions here. I don't agree
Well, he's
with
better for he's better for Israel than Kamala.
I certainly better than Biden. I didn't like the fact that Biden was holding up arms to Israel. Kamala wouldn't do that, but Biden did. And remember, Biden's the same guy who just totally screwed up the Afghanistan retreat. I mean, people died because of him. He did a terrible job. So I'm not going to take my foreign policy advice from President Biden, but that's not Kamala's position.
Jack, you're a radio favorite because obviously you can take a punch, and you're reasonable somewhat. I still think you're insane to support Kamala, but have you done the Proft and Amy show?
I have not. I've done Proft before, but he's difficult because he's always attacking the guest. He doesn't really give you a chance to talk.
Well, I've met a lot of people that don't like him on every side.
Yeah.
I don't know him, so I love Amy. Amy used to be my sidekick on WLS. And have you done the Rambling Ray show on WLS?
I have not.
Huh. Is there a show that you like doing now?
I like yours.
Well, I don't have a show. I have this. This nonsense.
Jeannie Ives, I've done.
Oh, she's great.
Jeannie, I've done with her show a number of times. Jeannie, we served together in the house. She's very intelligent. We disagree a lot, but I think she's a true believer. And I don't mind if I disagree with a true believer like you are, because I know it comes from a good place, and I respect that. But reasonable people can disagree. That's all.
Do you know what Penn Jillette said to me?
No, what?
He's attacked me as well. The comedian magician.
Yeah.
He said, if you really believe in, and you really believe that's the way to heaven, I want you to fight me. I want you to tell me. See, I think most atheists do believe. But yeah, I am a true believer, and I am a Trump guy.
Yeah.
And I feel like the fix is in. I feel like the media is a bunch of propagandists. I feel like you have Trump that will actually talk to you and Kamala in hiding. And the same woman is going to be the moderating. Is it Shalala? Is that her name? Whatever her name is. And she gave the questions last time beforehand to Hillary. And I don't look. Let me tell you, Jack, let me tell you something. Hannity and Combs went away. Alan Combs went away, and Hannity took over. And Fox was looking for a new show. And it is my memory that they picked up this show, and you knew me at the time. And it was she's gone on to great fame, and I don't want to say a name, but it was an African-American woman. And she didn't have beautiful woman, beautiful, nice, but didn't have the skills to debate me. And I saw it and they loved it. Let's do it. And I said, no, you can't win. Jack, Can Trump win a debate with Kamala? I don't think there's any way in hell he wins.
I don't think so either. I mean, he crushed Biden, and
Yeah.
actually, I think he should have gone a little softer on him. I think he would have. People might have liked him more if he had not been so rough on him. I don't think he beats a Kamala in a debate
Ralph.
because she's
Donna Brazil.
Donna Brazil.
Yeah,
yes.
leaked the questions beforehand.
Well, what would it even?
And I think
matter?
that's what Kamala will get on ABC, and I think he's right to say something. And the snarky commentators, George Stephanopoulos, we assume he was talking about George Stephanopoulos. Yeah, do you know anyone else named George Stephanopoulos, assholes? I mean, come on.
Well, you can't do
no.
it on Fox because Fox has already said that they're not a news organization; they're an entertainment organization.
In 2024, a white guy, billionaire, can't debate Kamala Harris and win. It doesn't matter how good he is. And as far as Trump goes, yes, I think he should have turned to Biden and said, "Can I help you? Are you okay?"
That's what I would have done too.
But we all want that all the time from Trump.
Yeah,
we all want that.
The most honest part of that debate is when Trump said, "I don't understand what you just said, Joe, and I don't think you do either." I think he should have stopped right then and said, "I know how hard this job is, and you can't do this anymore." That's what he
Father of the
should have-
Bride with Spencer Tracy.
Yes.
And then I think it was remade with Steve Martin. And there was a sequel called Chairman of the Board. And I bought the book at a garage sale. And there's a book plate there. And it turns out, and I read a book a day. And it turns out, folks, that this guy was on the Swiss American line in a certain ship that he talks about in here. And the ship that he says, I read this, it was a gift from the Admiral of the Navy, and I think 1940s. And the ship became it was a Swiss American line back and forth to Europe. Then it became a luxury cruise liner. And when they went to retrofit it in 2000 as a floating casino, it sunk. And then I looked up the name on the book plate, and the guy was the insurer for the Navy, and they had him telling his life story. And it was just this old guy. I was the head of, from a used book at a garage sale. Jack, thank you for coming on. And next week, I think we're going to have DDP, the legendary wrestler. Jack, you love DP, don't you?
Absolutely.
I don't think he knows what it means. Oh,
No
my
idea.
God.
I have no idea.
That's the highlight. That's the highlight.
I have no idea.
I love it.
But I love wrestling.
Hey, if you and I went camping, you're never mind.
No,
You
I
don't
know
give a
that.
joke.
Okay, that I do.
All right, man. Have a great time on your trip to France and with your hot girlfriend. And life is good, and life is good here, and good to see you. And let's all pray for America and pray for Israel as well. All right, that's it. As my mom used to say, shut up.
Hello? No, I told you, stop calling me.